Hey there. So I know firsthand how difficult it can be when you are on a thyroid journey. When you're on a health journey overall, it can be very challenging. Sometimes the days just don't feel like you're succeeding very well. And there are definite days where you feel like you are failing. So I wanted to just give you a little pep talk today and remind you of the end game. So I know during the last few years with the pandemic, it was definitely quite a challenge where there were so many different things that were changing. So it was really difficult to get ahead in the so-called like health and wellness game, it feels like. And everything was changing. Things were shut down. The kids were home. You couldn't get to your doctor's offices very easily. So it was definitely a challenge. Even outside of that, I definitely know how it feels when you are really, really working hard on your health and some days you just feel like you're failing because you are struggling. Just know that it is completely normal and okay to have those struggle days. Does it feel great? No, it does not feel great, but it does not mean you're failing because you are struggling. This is such a roller coaster. On a thyroid journey especially, it is very much a roller coaster. I know for me personally, in my very long journey to get my thyroid condition in like so-called remission, it was a very long journey of this roller coaster up and down. And I can definitely say that there were days where I felt like I must be failing. I must be a failure. I'm not doing things right because I had struggle days. It's very normal. We all have those struggle days. We all have those days where things may not just feel the best. And the first thing that you really do is you want to beat yourself up and say you're a failure. So my tip for you is know that, first of all, you're not alone. Everyone goes through this. Almost every client that I have, everyone I've talked to that is on this same type of journey has told me, all of them, that they have been at a point where they felt like they were failing because it was a struggle. Just know you're not alone. Everyone goes through that and everyone feels that. Secondly, just know that it is totally normal to have struggle days and it is totally normal to feel that way. And those days will pass. Just keep pushing forward. Start to take a look at what could be a small win for the day. So look at the day. Let's not look at, oh my gosh, what was my big win for the last 6 months? Because that roller coaster happens. So just look at what's a small win for me today. It could be something so minute, like you got all your supplements in today, or you got outside for 5 minutes and normally you don't even get to do that. It could be anything. It could be something big even. But look at wins. Don't just look at that dang scale. Let's look at other wins. It could be that you did meditation for 5 minutes today and normally you only get 2 minutes in, or you don't do it at all. So start looking at other things that are really big wins because those little wins all add up. The other suggestion I have is write it down. Write down every single thing that you feel. I do this every single day. The very first thing that I do in the morning is I write out what's my plan for the day. At the end of the day, in that same journal where I wrote all that down, I write at the end of it, I write what were my wins for the day. Sometimes I have big ones and sometimes they are so minute and tiny that I'm like, should I really be writing this down? Absolutely, you should be writing it down. Every single little thing, it adds up. Secondly, if you have it written down, you can always go look back at it because when you're having those days where you feel like you're struggling, you're down in the dumps, you're failing, you get to go back and look at those and be like, oh, wait a second. The last few days, I've had these small wins. Even though I feel like I'm failing, I did have some wins here because I know when you are really struggling and you feel like you're having those failure days, it is really easy to forget that you did have some small wins, maybe the last few days, maybe the last few weeks. So write it down because then you can always go back and look at it. And it's really, really comforting to know I did have some small wins because like I said, it's really easy to forget those. So those are my big tips. Just again, like I said, just know you are not alone. I'm always here to chat if you just need someone to vent to. I remember during my thyroid journey, that's the thing that I said I wanted the most. I just wanted a sounding board. I wanted to be able to talk to someone. And a lot of people that I was around at that time when I was really struggling, they didn't quite understand my journey. They didn't quite understand what I was going through. So that's why I've created my community. That's why I love having a community of thyroid warriors, because we can all bounce ideas off each other and just be able to chat and feel like we're being heard. So just know I'm always here. Drop a comment below if you have questions or if you just need to vent. I'm always here. So let me know on that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.